Hi, everybody. Yeah, this storm was a doozy, and I'm sure the roads probably aren't very good up there. So it was a good call to make. I'm sorry to all my lovely students who are in the musical. Hopefully, something can be worked out. However, I am here to make a video for you guys to explain Tuesday's Flexible Instruction Day assignment. I did tell you guys it was going to be the Spongebob genetics. Now, just to let you know, if you look, this Spongebob genetics was in the Friday folder. I have now pulled it out, slightly renamed it. I just put Spongebob genetics FID 127 since tomorrow is the 27th. Yes, and so if you click on that, you'll be able to go again. You will have the thing that says start assignment. You did get this on a hard copy though. So if you would like to do it as a hard copy and bring it in the next day that we are together, it will be due on the 29th, Thursday the 29th. So, yeah, I would love it if you guys can bring in with questions, because this is the time where you can make mistakes now. Questions are a good thing. But again, here's what it looks like. You guys obviously have this in like black and white, shades of gray. However, this is SpongeBob genetics or Bikini Bottom genetics. Now, one of the things I noticed about Monday's assignment is that a lot of people are making the mistake for phenotype. So right here, it's the word phenotype. This means the physical characteristic. Yes, we're working with dominant and recessive alleles, which are what is represented with the letters here. I hate how this keeps popping up, but what can I do? Just bear with me. And let me zoom in just a little bit so you guys can see it better. There we go. I bet you can see better now. So these alleles are your dominant as capital, recessive is going to be shown as a lowercase. Purebred, again, you want to list purebred, which means anything that is homozygous, and hybrids are anything that's heterozygous. Now, this first section here, you would take and you say, oh, TET, but it's two capitals, so that's the same. So this is testing you whether you remembered that heterozygous meant different and homozygous means the same. If it's the same exact type of letter, capital or lowercase, you would put HO. It's the only time that you guys are going to be allowed to write ho on your paper. But okay, so really having a hard time saying. So you would just do that, type ho. Okay, yeah, this thing's going to be like jumping around. You guys do it in a different way in Schoology. I think it's actually a little bit better. So this one, capital B, lowercase b, they're different. So you're going to write HE for he. If I click here, I still have the type in there. Sometimes you just have to you can actually adjust this, I think. Nope, you can't now that you've done it. I think you can move it now, maybe. Yes. All right, so then you write he. Listen, if you're not comfortable writing HO, just write H and then make sure you write HE for heterozygous. So you want, obviously, both words start with an H, and that was just a way of differentiating. You can even write HOM if you'd like to. Completely up to you. So, purebreds are homozygous, hybrids are heterozygous. And even, like, if it's this, the T, lowercase t, two lowercase t's, that's still going to be purebred. It's just purebred for the recessive traits. And these are going to be purebred for the dominant traits. It says DD on it. Okay, let's get rid of that. Back to pointers, yes. Okay, so back to my thing about phenotype. A lot of you guys are putting dominant recessive. That's not a phenotype. You have to decide which is the dominant phenotype, the physical trait, and which one is a recessive trait, the one that's hidden when you have a dominant allele. So in this example, for number 2, he says yellow body color is dominant to blue. That means yellow is dominant, blue is recessive. Right here, 2 big Y's, it would be yellow. Now you can decide what the other 2 would be. Then you have square shape is dominant to round. So think about SpongeBob. SpongeBob is the dominant species of sponge. He's square and he's yellow, so he has both dominant traits. Whereas you could have blue and round sponges. I think I have one in my kitchen right now. But you would want to write that. And these phenotypes are going to carry on. So like if you scroll down, so for right here for number 4, they're talking about how SpongeBob is heterozygous for his square shape, but Sponge Susie is round. You're going to use these letters, which of course I hate using letter S, so make sure when you type it, you use capital letters and lowercase letters. They look very similar. So make sure you use the stuff for number 2, the information in number 2, to help you with number 4. And it even says, hint, read question number 2. Then with Patrick, for number 5, Patrick met Patty, blah, 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 you're using your things for number 3. So you're deciding whether tall head is dominant. Well, it is dominant to short. So for tall, think about what the genotypes are. So it kind of reverses it. It's giving you the phenotypes now. Now you have to get give the genotype. So tall is dominant. So you should have 2 for tall, right? Because even with the dominant trait, if it's heterozygous, you'll still show the tall head. Short, well, you guys can figure that one out. Pink body, I'll let you guys figure that. Okay? Then use this information, the capital T lowercase t for dominant short, capital P lowercase p for pink body. Wish I would have used Y. Well. Number 5, yes. So for pink, yellow, you use capital P lowercase p. But if you want to use Y, that's fine too. I have no issue with that. Just make sure that when you guys do this Punnett square, you're figuring out what the parent is. So if SpongeBob is heterozygous for his square shape and says so use the letter S. So heterozygous would be, whoops, we've got to do this one. It would be that one because that's heterozygous. However, text box, right? Let's insert a text box. You want to make sure you separate his alleles just like they do when they go through meiosis. I know it might be a little hard to tell. Capital S, lowercase s. And that's fine. This is why, like, if you want to write it, that's fine. Make sure you write this down. You don't have, and you could always take a picture and send it to me if you really want to get the credit right away. It's fine. But now Susie is round. So round, square shape is dominant to round, which means round is the recessive one, 2 lowercase s's. So we're going to insert a text box here, lowercase s. Insert a text box there, lowercase s. And then you delete that. Here, this is probably going to work a little differently from you. Oh, try there we go. All right. Change it. All right. And then you just have to cross. Now, do you guys remember how to do this? You take this top letter, you pull them down. So you should have a big S here, a big S here. You take this small letter, you pull them down. But then also, you have to then take the mom's alleles. And you move them over. Little s, little s. So you should actually have a little s. Susie can only give little s's, so every box should have at least a little s. But remember, you're going to have 2 s's. So if you go to this box here, 2 little s's, right? Because you have one from here, one from there. List the possible genotypes and phenotypes for their children. So you want to list them. You want to say, oh, this is this, this is this. That's your genotypes. And then, oh, the phenotypes is going to be either square or round, if that's what it gives you. Then you say, what are the chances are? So it would always be out of 4 because the thing is a box of 4. There we go. But you have to figure out. I'm not going to do that for you. You can change it to percentage. And then make sure you do this because this will make sure you check your math and you figure out what the math is. If you're not sure, take a guess. And then pay attention in class when we meet again. Again, this is for pink color, so both of them are heterozygous. So this makes for an interesting Punnett square. If they're heterozygous, they both have one big P and one little p. I'm going to do that over here too. Big P, little p. See, I guess you could tell the difference because of the way it's typed, but when people write this, it's bad. It's like you can't tell the difference between a big P and a little p. Let me show you what you can do. I love cursive. You guys don't know cursive as much, but I would always write my P's like this. Let's see if I can do the drawing. It doesn't want to do it. Highlight, no. Underline, no. I'm going to draw. Okay, here we go. And I don't want to do it there. Okay, so I would do my P's like this. And my big P's, very exaggerated, very printed letter, not cursive. But the cursive, I do the little, because that's how lowercase p would look. All right, scrolling down. This is when things get really interesting. Remember purebred? Purebred is going to be the same of 2 letters. I think you're going to have fun. The most fun, though, a lot of people have is this one. So you have to decide whether a little crabby was switched at birth, or I don't know. You get to explain your answer if the hospital made a mistake. So do the Punnett square. Try to figure it out. This is what makes it fun. Yeah, so if you guys have any questions or anything, you can feel free to message me. Whew. Hopefully you'll get a lot out of this. I did post the review in the Tuesday folder, because if we were in school, I would have given you the review today. But just in case, it takes a little while, I want you to have the review up ahead of time. You guys deserve it. You guys deserve to get the review ahead of time. So definitely look that over, because that's everything that's going to be on your next test. Now, the next test should be Tuesday the 3rd, Tuesday the 3rd. However, it could be pushed back depending on if we're together or not these next few days. All right, I've got something in my bag for every day, so just make sure you're aware of that. Now, again, make sure when you're done and completely done, you can then submit it. If you make a mistake, you can reopen it and redo it. And then if you do make a mistake and you've changed it since I've given you a grade, which means I saw it and I gave you a grade, send me a message. Say, hey, can you please grade this one? Or can you please look at it now? I've changed a few things. And that's fine. I've even given you some feedback as I can, since, I'm home, supposed to be working anyway. So I'll be here to give you feedback. So, send me a message. Ask me science is good. Yeah, I think you guys can put comments right here. I don't know if you can, though. You can put comments. So I'm not sure if you can, but let's see if you can do it. If you have questions, post them here. And if I can't answer to you, I can make another video explaining it better. All right, well, you guys have a good night. Stay warm, stay dry. Help your parents, please. They would definitely appreciate it, and I would appreciate you helping them out too. I'm bummed that I don't get to be in class with you teaching you this, because this is like some of my favorite stuff to teach. So if you have questions, please don't hesitate. Ask, send a message. Make sure you know this pretty well, because there'll be plenty of questions on the next test about this, where you have to fill out a Punnett square and then analyze the information. All right, well, have a great night. Take care.